Hello, friends and family. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So I am feeling better, and I'm very thankful for that. But we have got to talk, you guys. Y'all, the YouTube drama between channels is so out of control. It is not only childish, but it is so detrimental and hurtful to North Carolina and the people that are there. And I have to say, I woke up and just started laughing. Thank you for the hearts. I know you guys have all seen it too. And I'm just like, what is going on? Right now in our country, we know for a fact because the Oversight House Committee, has already come out and put out their findings on Fauci and the fact that they're probably going to be releasing more detrimental, diseases into our country January 21st, 2025. We all know that there's like real things happening in this country. And what do we have? We have a bunch of adults on YouTube like destroying each other's channels. And for what? Somebody nobody knows. That is a true scammer. That is a true scammer. Somebody that can cause such dissension between like-minded people who are all aiming and working towards the same thing. So let me say hello to everyone that is checking in over here in comments. Hi, Hosanna and Miss Susan. Hosanna said, what is the proper treatment for mumps? So most of you know by now, I've been dealing with mumps. Now, as a child, I was vaccinated with the MMR, but I am 50. And lo and behold, little did I know that my vaccines would lose their effectiveness as I get older. And then you look at the last 4 years of the Biden-Harris regime and what has happened, our border is open. Do you guys remember going to a doctor or a hospital, and the first thing that they would ask when you had something that was hard to diagnose was, had you left the United States in the last couple of months? Like, I remember seeing the signs up. If you've left the US in the past year, please let the nurse and doctors know. Why? Why did they ask those questions? Because America, like most first world countries, had basically eradicated polio, mumps, measles, rubella, tuberculosis. Like, we had gotten rid of the majority of these diseases that are now considered third world diseases. Hi, everybody. So unfortunately, you're not seeing those signs anymore. Doctors aren't asking, hey, have you left the country lately? Why should they, right? I mean, we've let the whole friggin' world in through our southern and our northern borders. So actually, Dawn, they didn't even bother asking me when I went to the ER, had I recently been out of the country. So what I had to tell the doctor was, hey, I've recently been flying a lot. And he was like, oh, yeah. Okay. Now I know what I need to test you for. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is our country become like, are we infested with sick people? I believe we are. And I'm shocked. So before we jump into what the Oversight House Committee has found out about their COVID findings, thank you very much, guys. I'm feeling much better, though I am still very tired, which is why I'm going to do this live, and then I'm going to pop back in bed. We're going to talk about how people on YouTube, these YouTube channels, have lost their minds. So I told you guys weeks ago, the story about the baby freezing in North Carolina. When I read that on Twitter and I did my research, it was a scam. Okay. Then I find out that there's this woman by the name of Lacey Montgomery all over these channels, Real Estate Mindset, as well as the Hydroponics Tower channel. And nobody knew who this woman was. They were just getting a hold of her and letting her ramble on. And she's actually like the biggest scammer I've ever seen. I wake up this morning and, I'm shocked by this. First off, let me explain to you why I'm shocked. That a grown man would side with someone that he didn't know, that's not from his state, that can't actually prove anything she's claiming, over someone who lives in North Carolina, who's had a channel for multiple years, who is a solid person that is provable. She's out there busting her homesteading homeschool mama's butt, trying to make things better. I'm talking about Stephanie from the Hydroponic Tower channel. And I unsubscribed to Real Estate Mindset today because I watched just the first few minutes of his video. He titled it, "She Scammed Lacey, Critical Update." So I'm like, what is he talking about? I watched the first few minutes. He just bashes Stephanie. And I said, dude. So I commented, you guys, let me tell you what this man says to me. Okay. My comment was cut and dry. I said, everyone grabs onto the story with both hands without proof. Stephanie is not a Karen, dude. Lacey won't even take my calls, right? This makes you look little, sir. Sorry you picked the wrong team. And he goes, how to lie like Stephanie. That's how he responded to me. How to lie like Stephanie. I said, dude, I didn't even respond. I just went unsubscribe. So be careful when a grown adult has to defend their choice like this. This is so sad. You don't get on YouTube and take down other people's channels over a total stranger. So that's like all I'm going to say about that. Yes. So if you have ivermectin, just let me encourage you. It's a great thing to have in your arsenal against viruses, folks. You can get it at any feed and seed store. You do not need a prescription. Okay. So moving on, when you look at the Oversight House committees, the origins of the coronavirus pandemic, including but not limited to the federal government's findings of gain-of-function research paper, it is 557 pages long. Wow. I mean, like seriously, big paperwork. So I just kind of started with number one, the unknown origins of COVID-19. It says here, the finding, it's in green. Let me turn the lighting down a bit. It's in green. So if you go to their page, anything in green is a finding. Okay. So it says SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, likely emerged because of a laboratory or research related accident. Do you guys remember when President Trump tried to tell everyone that the way that these people responded to him? It was horrendous.
From animal to human.
Well, thank you very much. Please.
Donald Trump appears to support a theory it came from a laboratory in the city of Wuhan. He even claims to have seen evidence.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
US intelligence partner Australia isn't so sure. It sees a wet market as the most likely culprit.
This is one of the reasons why it is important that we just have an objective, independent assessment of how this originated and learn the lessons from how that occurred.
So they are...
Britain too doesn't matter.
I'm so shocked. Trump told the entire world, and for what? What happened when he did? I remember he was called racist, homophobic, poor Chinese people. You know, it had to have come from a bat that somebody ate in China. And that is wrong. It says here, it says 4 years after the onset of the worst pandemic in 100 years, the weight of the evidence increasingly supports the lab leak hypotheses. So a whole lot of mainstream media, as well as social media platforms, owe a lot of people apologies. I want you guys to remember how many people got their channels banned. TikTok, Twitter at the time, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all those big things were kicking people off of their channels that they had worked on for years because they didn't want the truth to come out. Well, it's coming out now. And it goes on to say that in January of 2021, the State Department published an unclassified fact sheet entitled Fact Sheet, Activity at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, that stated the following. Number one, the U.S. government has reason to believe that several researchers inside of the WIV became sick in autumn of 2019 before the first identified case of the outbreak, with symptoms consistent with COVID-19. Number 2, the WIV has published record of conducting gain of function research to engineer chimeric viruses. Okay, so we have to discuss chimeric. Do you guys remember, like in the Bible, when people are talking about like the days of Noah? And when you go back to ancient drawings on cave walls, what do you see? You see chimeras, which are like animal heads on human bodies and human heads on animal bodies. And you've got the tiger, mixed with the owl and vice versa. And so they're doing that with viruses. Okay, so they're taking a little bit of snake venom from the cobra and a little bit of, this bit of over here from this, and they're mixing it up and they're creating these like insane viruses that our bodies are not prepared to fight. Hi guys, how are y'all? And I just want you guys to be aware that the entire world, anybody in control during this period of time, they knew it came from Wuhan. They knew Fauci had something to do with it, and they punished true speakers for getting it out there. Yes, Miss Mary, biowarfare. Okay. So if you go back, a gentleman named Dr. Robert Redfield, March 8th of 2023, he actually testified. From the earliest days of the pandemic, my view was that both theories of the origin of COVID-19 needed to be aggressively and thoroughly examined. Based on my initial analysis of the data, I came to believe, and still believe today, that it indicates COVID-19 infections were likely the result of an accidental lab leak from the result of a natural spillover event. This conclusion is based primarily on the biology of the virus itself, including its rapid high infectivity from human to human transmission, which would then predict rapid evolution of new variants, as well as a number of other important factors to include the unusual actions in and around Wuhan in the fall of 2019. So basically, it's a created virus in a lab, and it was leaked. Okay, so another finding, I don't want to talk about that one. Hold on, you guys. This is a 557-page report, so it's like super hard to like dig through all this information. Don't go anywhere. I'm fixing to talk to you about how your house is being overtaxed and the government knows it, and why people cannot afford housing in America anymore. It is all a big scandal, and it started in the great state of Texas, folks. But I did want to bring that to you, that the report is out, and you can find it at oversight.house.gov. Feel free to dig through it. It is very eye-opening. And I think that we need to just remember what they did to us. You know, we were guinea pigs, folks.
Before Donald Trump was inaugurated president in 2017, days before the January 20th, 2017 inauguration, Dr. Fauci had a stark warning for Donald Trump about a brand new pathogen that would be released during his administration.
Is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And
a surprise outbreak. And notice the certitude with which he says those words. There will be a surprise outbreak of infectious disease during the next administration. Now, this is the...
Okay, so that was Trump's first term. They are doing it again. So this is what I need you guys to understand. I need you to learn to grow some food. I will not be shocked if another massive virus just sweeps our country and sweeps the world as soon as Trump takes office, because they're threatening to do it again. They're threatening to do it again. We know they're manipulating the weather. Okay. I just found out that they're manipulating the taxes on people's homes, on the reevaluation assessment of how much your home is worth to fund whatever they choose to fund. And people don't have recourse to stop it. So it's increasing the worth of your home above what it's actually worth. And now they're threatening us with another virus. So when you look, thank you so much, Miss Deborah. When you look at it overall, it's just this attempt to destroy our economy, ourselves, our health, our futures. And folks, we have to be prepared. You have to know how to grow some food. If you can't grow it, you need to store a little bit. Because yes, they have admitted there's going to be a second
Vaccine
pandemic.
researcher Peter Hotez says multiple viruses will be unleashed on America the day after Trump takes office. We have some big picture stuff coming down the pike starting on January 21st. What the hell is he talking about? This sounds exactly like the kind of certitude that Dr. Fauci said there will be massive surprise infectious disease outbreaks in the next administration.
Here's the reason why we need to care about this stuff, Nicole, is that we have some big picture stuff coming down the pike starting on January 21st.
Big picture stuff coming down the pike starting on January 21st. It sounds like an Apple product rollout. But what he's talking about are what, new viruses? Let's listen.
Yeah. And so what is he talking about? Because as someone who just recently developed mumps in the United States, I'm a little irritated. I lost a week of my life that I can't get back. I slept 14 hours last night. My face is still swollen here. I feel terrible. Nothing is getting done. And I'm healthy and I'm young. And I look out at my country and I'm like, what are you going to do to us next? Guys, I pray that when Trump gets in there, he's like a wrecking ball and he just destroys these people. That is why when I woke up and the real estate mindset is attacking another YouTube channel over a grifter, I was like, I'm so done with these people. I'm done with these grown adults getting on YouTube and attacking other channels because somebody ousted a grifter and you made the mistake of hanging out with them and you just won't admit you're wrong. I'm over those types of people, folks. I'm over them. I don't want them anywhere near me because here is the thing. When you put your voice forth into the entire world, I saw this happen in Lahaina. Do you guys remember the gentleman that did, let me look up his name real quick, because I don't know why I just went like totally blank. Eric West. He had a woman that was saying she was going to do all these amazing things for the people of Lahaina. And all of a sudden he realized she was a grifter. What did he do? He just cut her off and he never spoke of her again. And I mean, like, seriously, that's how you handle grifters. You cut them off and you separate yourself. You don't go to their house in the middle of the night and interview them, trying to defend yourself while putting down someone who is actually trying to help. And I just can't. I mean, I can't. I can't do men like that. I'm sorry. I have a strong husband. First off, you'll never catch him on TV crying. And second, I can't do weak men. They gross me out. They totally gross me out. And a man to kick another woman while she's down over a grifter? No, not happening. Not on my watch. I got you, Stephanie. Little old Sam in Louisiana, I got your back, girl. We women will stick together. That's just so trashy that he did that. And I went, you know, when people really realize that Lacey Montgomery is a grifter, he's going to be eating those words. All right. So moving on, we need to be prepared because I found one of you amazing people brought forth to me something called the Real Estate Taxpayers and Governor Abbott. It's a letter posted reviewing problems with the property appraisals and failure to perform lawful, legitimate, and proper appraisals. Now, this letter was written February 24th or 29th, 2024, talking about Texas real estate. So if you live in Texas, some of you may not know this, they don't have sales tax in Texas. What they've got is a hefty land tax that's supposed to cover everything the state needs. It says, starting in 2016, we realized that DCAD was manufacturing values. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that they are just saying, okay, this house was worth $75,000 in 2019, but in 2023, it's going to be worth $180,000 because we said that's what we want it to be. And what they found was a majority of the homes were being overvalued simply to increase the amount of taxes that people were going to have to pay the state of Texas. And it's not just Texas that it's happening in. So if you live in Texas, you're thinking I don't have to deal with this, Sam. You do, and I need you to hear me. They do this because they realize, well, hey, we need to fund another elementary school. So how are we going to get the money for that? Well, we're going to increase the land value. More people are moving in. So we're going to say the homes are worth more because they're selling for higher values, and we're going to increase people's taxes on their properties. There are a couple of things that you can do to protect yourself. One, every state has something called homestead exemption. Write that down right now. Get a pen, get a sheet of paper, write homestead exemption down. Call your local tax assessor's office in the morning and you ask them for the state that you live in, can I get homestead exemption? What does that entail? In Louisiana, it means that if my property is valued under $75,000, I pay zero land taxes on anything 75,000 and below. So if what I have values at 150,000, I'm not paying taxes on 150. I'm paying taxes on 75. You get it? Yeah. That's in every state. Homestead exemption has steadily been under attack, folks, in America for years because it is one of the few things left that protect homeowners from being scalped by this. Because I was so shocked when I began to read that the Appraisal Review Board appeal process is a bait and switch scheme where the taxpayer cannot protest or appeal on the actual levied assessed amount and can only appeal to the market value, which is not a real number. The market value is derived from DCAD continuously and cumulatively forcing up property values to maximize the ceiling on the assessed amount, no matter what the economics of the property are. To further expose the fraud, the Texas State Comptroller, via the property valuation study, requires the chief appraiser to raise values in the next appraisal year if the state believes the certification values were too low and or there is not enough money to shift to certain school districts. What is that? So basically they're saying if we don't have enough money, we're going to force the controller's office, the land tax assessor's office to raise the value on your home. That could be happening in every stinking state and none of us would know it because we just assume that the values are going up. Folks, people cannot afford to live in America unless you're an illegal alien. You can't afford your land anymore because you can't afford the taxes. This is why. We all know that these little cookie cutter homes they're building are not worth $275,000. But because people are willing to pay that and they don't have money for a down payment, they have to go through the bank. They're getting wrapped up in mortgages, which remember what mortgage means. It is a death pledge. So I want you guys to remember that they are violating our 16th Amendment, okay, of the Constitution. And it says, and this is why, tax on income. All right. Then as now, income was understood to refer to gains realized by a taxpayer through payment, exchange, or the like, not mere increase in value property. Appreciation in the value of a home or other asset is not income until it's sold and the gain is realized. We would be remiss if we did not point out that the appreciation in value is directly correlated to the decrease in purchasing power of the US dollar, which neither DCAD nor its co-conspirators take into consideration. In addition to DCAD fraudulently creating market values outside the confines of law, its existence is an unlawful agency allowing the violation of the 16th Amendment, and that those same market values are being used as a basis from which to charge a tax, which is taxation on unrealized gains. Folks, they're taxing you on the fact that they are claiming your property and your home are worth this much money, so we're going to tax the hell out of you. But go try to sell it and see if you get that much for it. We have to fight against this, okay? It's happening everywhere. They have estimated, and listen to this, in Deaton County, Texas alone, there are tens of billions of dollars at risk as a result of a minimum 30% overvaluation and overtaxation of property values, which directly impacts bond values 20-1 and mortgage values and touches the lives of every real estate taxpayer. Our spreadsheets show that roughly $62 billion worth of bond and mortgage investments have a high probability of not being returned as a direct result of DCAD and their co-conspirators. 72% of households in Deaton County, Texas cannot afford the average market value of a home in Texas. The overvaluation for 2023 of $514,000 as compared to 2021's average $339,000. Folks, that's an increase of almost 200 grand on the same home, and they're doing this everywhere. They're doing it because we have voted in politicians who are dirty. Yes, this is unrealized gains. That's right. So it goes on to say how many homeowners have had to decide to sell a car, not buy medicine, to keep a roof over their heads. We can prove from government numbers that 37.81% of households in Deaton County, Texas are at risk of losing their home because of taxes. It says here that it has added to a tax bill $2,500 a year, folks. A year. Can you imagine making it to the end of the year, knowing you now owe federal taxes, state taxes, and land taxes to get an additional $2,500 bill? 90% of Americans are going to have to run that credit card for that. We cannot lose our country like this. So I did find only one video to collaborate this, folks. I'm really concerned for everyone. I want you to fight against this. I want you to check.
More in property taxes this year.
I'm not going to be able to afford this. And so I was like, and I still have a kid that has all these, needs. So I was just like, no, it's just not feasible.
Property values going up in many counties. Based on preliminary estimates from appraisal districts, Dallas seeing a 15 to 16% increase on homes compared to last year. Collins and Tarrant counties, 5% increases, and Denton staying about the same. But thankfully, residents can actually fight to lower their property values by filing what's called a protest. They can either do it online or go to their county's appraisal office, like this one here in Dallas. But the deadline for most counties to file is this coming Wednesday, May 15th.
Okay, so let me
just been going off the hook and
property tax consultant.
Let me tell you guys something. You want to know how you fix this? You vote out every crappy local politicians. I have been telling you how we're going to take our country back. We're going to take it back because you and I are going to run for local office. We have to, guys. They're not fighting for us. They're fighting because they got their hand in the cookie jar. We need to demolish the size of our governments. You have to have, there's so many friggin', just go look, even in a small town, how many departments are on payroll. All of it, guys. We have to start at the local level and we just have to blow it up. All of it's got to come down. It's out of control. And that's it. I love you guys. My energy levels, just like that, they dropped. Oh, I totally, yes. The Marxist, the Matrix is real, said BlackRock wants to buy homes. It's true. It's true. Guys, I love y'all so much, but I want you to remember this before I go. Look this up because I want you to know when I tell you something, I'm telling you the truth. 1, look up homestead exemption. 2, I want you to look at what happened during the Great Depression. They went city to city, kicking people out of their homes. You know what they did? They called in the mortgage on the dime. They said, you owe this mortgage. We want it in a month. People couldn't pay. And from 45 to 60,000 families, city to city across the United States, they made them homeless. That's why there were so many homeless people during the Great Depression. Folks, I love y'all, but this is their game plan, and it's going to happen again. I need all of you to be prepared. If you do nothing else, but if you go back and look through some of my videos, you're going to see that I'm tagging products like organic products and bug out bags. Buy that stuff for your family. And second off, give people cash for Christmas. Don't you dare buy cheap Chinese gifts because you want to give them money so they can pay their bills off. Trust me. And if you've got pets, ifeedraw.com, code STARKEY2024, you get a big discount. Buy that for your family members who have animals. It's time to get healthy. It is time to get out of debt. And if you do nothing in 2025, get your mortgage paid off, my friends, because they're coming for your home. And if they can't get it through mortgage, they're going to raise your taxes on your land so high you can't afford a mortgage and a tax. They're going to kick you out, and they're going to put that cute little immigrant family right in your bed. Now, I'm done. I feel like my fever just spiked. I really do. Woo, that wore me out talking to you guys for 32 minutes. But I love y'all so much. I just wanted to show my face. Please know I am still doing research on different videos. I'm trying to keep my ear to the ground for you guys and bring, stuff to you guys as I see it. Just know we're not idiots. And even if I'm sick, we are not taking this lying down. So God bless everyone. Stay strong. God bless America. Cannot wait till Trump gets in there. But remember, they're going to release new viruses, and they've already warned us. And if I could get mumps, I'm prayed up, folks. I'm covered in the blood. If I got mumps, it makes me worried for everybody else. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't have the mumps in America. I mean, come the crap on. Seriously, mumps in America? What's next, right? Don't fly United.